Class systems in travel have been around for pretty much as long as there has been mass transportation available, and while the modern-day cruise industry had eliminated the most overt examples of this, think third class and steerage travel, some point of difference do appear to be creeping back in. I'm Adrian, the Cruise and Travel Guy. I produce cruise-related content right here on YouTube every week, so if you enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. Cruise lines have always offered multiple tiers of accommodation, and classically that meant that people staying in the topmost suites would usually enjoy perks like priority boarding, invitations to special onboard events, and even some onboard services. As time went on though, and cruise ships began to increase in size and scale, cruise lines toyed with the idea of making certain onboard spaces exclusive to only some guests. While thankfully modern cruise ships don't offer a third class of travel, lately the evidence does seem to point towards a second class of travel, and this is most notable on cruise ships that offer what is commonly referred to as a ship within a ship concept. You'll find examples of this across many major cruise lines. For example, Royal Caribbean Star Class, Celebrity's The Retreat, Norwegian Cruise Line's The Haven, and even P&O Australia's Byron Beach Club. All of these unique offerings and their associated spaces are only available to those booked into certain stateroom categories. Whether it's a private club or a lounge, a dining room, or even outdoor deck space, many of these cruise lines and others now offer public areas that are exclusively available to their most elite guests. When things were a little simpler and the ships were smaller, the fact that guests staying in a suite received certain perks really had a very limited impact on the experience of other guests on board. At those times especially, standard cruise line fares were, except for beverages, inclusive of most things on board, and importantly, that included quality dining. Fast forward to today though, and I don't think the same can necessarily be said. Whether it's a byproduct of the post-pandemic era, with cruise lines understandably doing their best to return to profitability, or something else entirely. Recent feedback from cruise passengers across a number of cruise lines does seem to cite issues with inclusions, service, and food quality. Within the last year alone, Royal Caribbean has slashed its complimentary dinner time menu, P&O Australia has begun charging for dishes like Eggs Benedict, while NCL and some Royal Caribbean ships have eliminated twice daily housekeeping services. In those cases though, guests across all those cruise lines choosing an upper tier level of accommodation will receive a different onboard experience. In the case of Royal Caribbean, they'll have access to a private restaurant with quality food called Coastal Kitchen. On P&O Australia, they'll enjoy complimentary Eggs Benedict at breakfast time, and all three cruise lines offer twice daily housekeeping for their suite guests. These sorts of post-pandemic cuts have pretty much become par for the course. The dawn of the specialty restaurant, which we have all come to accept and enjoy as part of the variety offered by modern-day cruising, has no doubt had some effect on the level of quality of the standard included food. Although no cruiser will ever go hungry, there is so much anecdotal evidence in reviews, as well as in my own and I'm sure your recent cruise experiences, that would certainly contribute to the belief that complimentary dining options on cruise ships are just not what they used to be. Unless you're occupying a suite or willing to pay extra to enjoy specialty dining, most people are having to pay more in order to enjoy a broadly similar experience to what in the past would have been standard. Now, my main motivation for this video is because I received a number of comments and messages in response to videos where I detailed my cruises on board Celebrity's The Retreat and P&O's Byron Beach Club. The comments really made me consider this topic, with a fair number of people telling me they would actively avoid a cruise line because it offered a public area for the exclusive use of certain passengers. While I actually do understand the sentiment offered in the messages and comments that I received in response to my videos, the reality is that pretty much all major cruise lines do this now. In addition to the lines I mentioned earlier, Carnival Cruises do it with their Havana Club, Virgin Voyages with Richard's Rooftop, MSC with the Yacht Club, and now Princess Cruises will join them with their signature sun deck on board their newest Sphere-class ships. Whilst I don't agree that this is a full return to class systems on board ships, certainly not in the historical sense, it is apparent that the growth of ship-within-a-ship concepts is creating a more divide on board mainstream cruise lines. Coupled with cutbacks to dining quality and options, plus reduced housekeeping, both of which don't really affect top-tier guests, I do believe that this is a topic worth discussing. What do you think about the explosion of ship-within-a-ship concepts? Is it something you seek out because it offers an exclusive area on board, or is it something that you would avoid for the same reason? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it if you could, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are looking to book a cruise, you can head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguide.com.au, and if you haven't done so already, you can give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. But as much as the cruise industry has done to remove the most overt distinctions between class distinctions, while thankfully modern cruise ships don't offer a third class of travel, at those times especially, standard cruise fares were, except for drinks or alcoholic beverages, the nice ones. Whether it's a byproduct of the post-pandemic era and cruise lines really just trying to return to profitability, with cruise lines just trying to return to profitability,